Hello, everybody. I hope we all had a good day today and we're now resting, relaxing, and feeling fine. So, I've been sitting here for quite a while trying to fix this camera and this ring light so that the light doesn't show in my glasses, because as you know, I cannot see anything without my glasses. So, I really don't want to take them off. So, during this lockdown period now, a lot of people are having some serious mental health issues. Did you know that? Yes. And so sometimes families are now bundled together because of the lockdown, and it creates a lot of stress. And so you have to find creative ways of ridding yourself of that stress or minimizing the amount of stress that you go through, because everybody is bundled in one area, or perhaps somebody's in one room, somebody's in another, but you're basically in the same space because you're gonna have to come out to eat at some point. You might want to watch the news, whatever it is, during the day. Children are at home, that kind of thing. So you have to find creative ways. I remember when my children were young, and we used to have power outages pretty often, and I would seize the opportunity to tell them about my childhood when I was growing up. So anytime we had a power cut, everybody would huddle together to hear about mommy's life story when I was a child and all the scrapes I got into, like when I hopped onto the banana truck when it was passing, and then my mother would run out with something and she would beat my legs rather, because she told me over and over, now I'm her only child and she doesn't want anything to happen to me. She wouldn't want me to get crushed by the truck. But it was just a wonderful feeling to see the truck passing by, and it was going at a moderate pace because it was going up a little grade, so I could always hop onto it and jump off. So when she came and she had the thing in her hand and she was hitting me on my legs, I would jump off and run. And I tell them those stories, and I would tell them the stories over and over and over, and still they never got tired of hearing the stories about the scripts that I got into, like when my parents would want to give me like worm medicine or something they thought that needed to fatten me up because I was so thin. So they would buy cod liver oil and they would give me Scott's emulsion and bastard cabbage and all of these bad tasting things, and then both of them would hold me down and drench me with these things. They wanted to force me to drink milk, that kind of thing. I just cannot stand the sight nor the smell of milk. And when it forms that little white cream on top there, and they would want, and sometimes it breaks up and they want me to drink the milk. Oh goodness, I couldn't wait to get away. I couldn't wait to get away from them. So I used to tell the children about all of these little things that happened. And like when I climbed the tree, my girlfriend, she pushed me up into the tree and I couldn't come down. And then she couldn't reach me because I was too high up. And she went for my mother. And my mother came and gave me a thrashing because I had gone up into the tree. I got into all sorts of scrapes as a child. But I'm here to tell you, and to tell my children. We told those stories over and over. So we had a little thing that as soon as the light went, we'd have story time, and I would tell them about all the things that I did as a child. And that sort of took away from the fact that we never had any light, the place was dark and stuff. Children don't like darkness. So we chatted, and what we used to do, like on a particular night, we had a night when we would get together and pretend that we're reporters from different countries. So we had different accents and stuff like that. So we'd be reporting from Israel and Germany and all of these places, France and stuff like that. And listen to me, we would make our own stories, and we had a ball. We laugh, we laugh, we laugh. You should see us and hear us having a wonderful time reporting different stories. And I'd encourage them to make up their own stories and tell their stories, and then we all would clap and say very good and encourage them, that kind of thing. So we just had a great time doing these things when we were not busy doing housework. It was time when we found time for family. Nowadays we're so busy, everybody's going out and stuff, but because of COVID now, the family is kind of forced to be together, so when you're together now, you need to find creative ways of not driving everybody crazy and not getting on everybody else's nerves. So you find little ways of doing things. Tell them stories about your childhood, play games, dress up and pretend like how my children and I used to do. We used to be reporters, that kind of thing. We played Scrabble, we played hide and seek, we played all sorts of games that I'm not even remembering now, but we used to just make good family time and have a wonderful time, and they'd be rewarded. And we used to have talent show, so they dress up and either sing or say a poem or give a story, that kind of thing, and we have a wonderful time. Those are just some of the things that we used to do when we had time on our hands. So now that we're locked down, we can find creative ways to pass the time and not get on top of everybody else's nerves. And like how we have cameras now with videos, and some of these cameras, phones that you have are high-end cameras. You can make little videos, of yourselves having a wonderful time, and then you look back at it and you just laugh and stuff like that. And when family members not noticing, like maybe when they fall asleep, and maybe they fall asleep with a mouth open or they're snoring or something, and you're just going to share it with family, so you don't have to be embarrassed about it. You're just having fun. And what you can also do sometimes, especially if you can't get the children to like tidy up their rooms and stuff like that, you can have a little reward, so that if they washed up the dishes without your telling them, they have a little jar, and you might put what is the best denomination now? Maybe you can put coins, maybe say $20, they're rewarded for a $20, or the older ones might get a $50 if they did something. And if you see that they're keeping their rooms tidy, you might put $100 in there, depending on how many of them you have and how much you can afford, and it is for them because they've been doing whatever. And sometimes you can decide that somebody is going to do something nice for somebody in the family, so one person is chosen, and then everybody does something for that person. But each time something is done for the person doesn't know who has done it. And at the end of the week now, everybody will gather together, and the person who had something nice done for them will say that this was done for them and how appreciative they were. And then the person that had done that will say, okay, I did this for you because because you are my sister and I love you and I thought you needed the help, and that kind of thing. So you just find creative ways of making the family happy. And you can have a time when you sit around and you just give jokes, turn off the TV, turn off the radio, put aside the phones, and just talk about the things that were funny in the family and have a good time, because when my children were growing up, I remember we used to laugh at each other. They would laugh me to scorn, but they wouldn't laugh at their father. You see how unfair life is? They don't laugh at their father, but they would laugh at me. And when I complain, they say, but you can stand the laughing, but we don't want to laugh at daddy, that kind of thing. But it is good when you can let your hair down and allow your children to have fun with you, and you laugh and talk about the things that are happening and stuff, and encourage them to confide in you. Please, parents, you need to be able to help your children to trust you and to be able to confide in you, and not to go on the street to get information from just about anybody, because you don't want just about anybody giving your children information. You want to be the one that gives it to them, and you have to develop that kind of trust in them that no matter what has happened, they are able to come to you. You're not going to kill them, you're not going to condemn them. You talk to them, and if you can't handle the talk, maybe you need to get a very good friend who you can trust, or a professional even, because these young people are going through a lot, and you just have them there. And sometimes when they're acting out, they're just calling out for help, but you're not noticing, and you get so angry and short-tempered and impatient. But you need to listen to what they're saying. And when I say listen, I don't just mean by hearing with the ear. You need to listen to what they're saying by their actions. You need a little quiet time to just take them aside and ask them, what is happening? Why are you behaving like this? If you don't have that relationship with your child, just know though, it might take a little while, but you can always look into yourself and change your attitude toward them, and let them see that you're a parent that understands, a parent that loves them, a parent who wants the best for them, because you don't want to start from one end of the spectrum and you've gone to the other, and then they become suspicious of you, and they're not trusting you because they think that something is wrong because this is not my parent. But you make little changes over time, you make little changes, and please remember that it is important for you to affirm your children. Tell them that you love them, touch them, hug them, that kind of thing, because you don't want them to go outside and get the kind of affection that you should be giving them. A young lady who is loved by her father and her mother, she knows that she's secure in their love. She's not going to go out on the street and allow any man to just come tell her all sorts of foolishness, and it goes to her head, and she really wants that kind of attention and affection, and she gives herself to just about anybody. She will be secure and confident in the love that her parents have for her, and because of that, she will wait until the time is right. So I'm encouraging you while you're at home to develop good relationships with your children, and see to it that you stand by them, affirm them, and help them so that they will want to confide in you whatever is happening to them, and the family structure can be strengthened, and it can be more cohesive, and you can become a happier family, a closer family, a family that wants to be together all the time, close knit, and you look out for each other, and you just have a lovely, loving relationship. That is all I just want to share with you this evening, and I trust that you will find some merit in what I have said. I'm always wanting to impact in a positive way, and I just don't want to be sitting here and just talking and it doesn't make any sense. I want it to impact. So whatever it is that I've said, try to find something in what I've said that you can implement and see what kind of changes it will make in your family setting. And it will help you to become better parents, a happier family. And by becoming a happier family, it radiates out into the society and become a better society. One family at a time, one day at a time. Agreed? I hope you agree. All right, it was nice talking with you. You're my family too, and I wish for you all the best. And the lockdown is coming up, so ensure that you stock up with your food and your water and everything that you need, so that you don't run out of anything and you get miserable and say, oh, I never got this and I never had that, and somebody becomes miserable because they never had whatever they needed. All right, enjoy your weekend. Blessings. Love you. Take care. Remember to subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment if you will. Until I talk with you again next time. Have a good one. Bye.